My name is Joseph Linder. My topic is embryonic stem cells. Let's jump right in. All right, so let's talk about why I chose embryonic stem cell research. The main reason is because my uncle was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and embryonic stem cell research could be a potential cure for it. So let's discuss embryonic stem cells for a bit. Fun fact, the first human embryonic stem cell was harvested in 1998, which is surprisingly not as old as maybe some people in class. So these stem cells can turn into many different types of cells. The term for that is called pluripotent. And the process of turning into different types of cells is called differentiation. And so these stem cells are able to turn into a variety of different cell types, such as a heart, a kidney, neural tissue, liver, eyes, or an immune cell. An embryo is an ovum that's been fertilized. So for the research with embryonic stem cells, we are researching embryos that have been fertilized in vitro and donated with consent from the donors. So these are not collected from humans. They're not fertilized in humans and collected. They're given transcription factors after collection for them to differentiate to the different cell types. Interesting new area is non-embryonic stem cells, which are stem cells derived from adults and not from an embryonic source. All right, so these cells are important because they can differentiate into many different types of cells, so that opens the door for regenerative medicine. So applications are the eyes, the pancreas, the liver, Parkinson's. Those are some of the areas that we could use it. Legal ramifications. In 2009, President Obama signed an executive order to remove restrictions and limit presidential power in embryonic stem cell research. So this opened the door for more research. Religious considerations. The biggest argument from a religious standpoint is the sanctity of life. It means that conducting research on an embryo that results in the death of the embryo is the same as murder. So the counter argument is that an embryo is not a human life and it should not be treated as such. And then there are some stats that ultimately show that the more you attend a religious gathering, the less likely you are to approve of embryonic stem cell research. Social considerations are the items of consideration by an individual, a group, or an entire society about a specific topic. Currently, 71% of Americans are in favor of stem cell research. It's also important that healthcare workers do not push their own beliefs or morals onto a patient making a difficult decision. We always talk about culture. It's important that we as healthcare professionals provide education and a non-judgmental attitude when caring for patients with cultural differences. We need to ensure that our patients have accurate information to make an informed decision. Ethical considerations are defined as the distinguishing between right and wrong in research. The main consideration when discussing embryonic stem cell research is what constitutes as a human life, and are thousands of lives worth one embryo. Embryonic stem cell research has been politically relevant in the last decade or so. In 2007, President Bush vetoed a congressional bill to allow federal funding for embryonic stem cell research. And then 1 year later, President Obama signed that executive order that reversed this decision, and it limited the power the president has. So since then, 70% of embryonic stem cell trials have been publicly funded. Psychological implications. The considerations for a patient may include negative feelings when learning that the cure to their illness occurred due to the quote-unquote death of an embryonic stem cell. On the other hand, patients and families may have negative feelings when they learn that their loved one may have died from an illness that could have been prevented or reversed if further embryonic stem cell research had been conducted. So ultimately the pros of this is that it's a potential cure for many diseases and disorders, less risk for host rejection, cells can be differentiated into a variety of cell types, millions of people could live healthier lives. It's easier to collect the non-embryonic, and embryonic stem cells are collected from donated embryos with consent. Cons are it is currently still in trials, it is not currently completely understood, no complete cure has resulted from the use of embryonic stem cells. It is ethical and moral controversy, and there's another way to collect cells that exists. In conclusion, there are a variety of positions about the use of embryonic stem cells. The main factor is the embryo a human life or not? It'll take careful considerations, education, informed consent, and complex legal and social structure to decrease the controversy and hopefully lead to an increase in the quality of patient care. Thank you for watching.